Cheers, everybody. Here's to a happy new year. Happy 2022 to all the chefs, hospo workers out there. Where is the industry at? We're in the same shit that we've been in for the last couple of years. I think a lot of people were hoping that we would see some changes in, the new year. February would come around, we'd open up the borders, we'd start seeing some chefs come through. But I think it's kind of apparent to everybody right now that that's not going to happen. The thing that we need to start thinking about, though, is what can we do to make the changes needed in the industry to attract people into the industry locally. We don't have the influx of people coming into the country to fill part of that gap that we had a couple of years ago. And let's face it, the industry was fucked long before COVID. Okay, it's been on its knees and it's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse for a very long time. I started cooking when I was 15 years old. 43 now. I've been in the industry for nearly 30 years. I have not seen a shortage like it is at any point ever in my career. I haven't seen the money being offered to chefs at any point in my career, and not even money offered to chefs with any sort of reliance on return for that investment on the chef. It's just we just need hands and feet and heartbeats in the kitchen. So you're going to see a lot more of me over the coming weeks, months, into the future. I have a few pretty bold ideas about how I can help people and help different businesses, and that's what I do. That's what I have done. It's how I've successfully run businesses over the years. So talk is cheap at the end of the day. Everyone's got their own ideas. Everyone out there's got a bit of a let's do this, let's do that, and blah, blah, blah bullshit going on. I'm going to look at it from a different approach on a let's start to build that fabric of around the industry, the fabric of the repair for the future. What it can be. I'd love to see it get back into its heyday, but without all the egotistical bullshit that goes with it. I'd just like to see an industry where people don't look like they are absolutely bloody spent. I spent my Christmas and New Year's down down south, down the Great Southern, and every winery that I went to, man, they looked cooked. Every single person, front of house, back of house, they were cooked, and they would have been cooked long before the the masks came in. That just added a whole new level to things this time around, and it's really, I'm looking at people and I'm looking at the public not having any idea about what it is that the owner operators, the chefs, the cooks, the kitchen hands, the yardies, the stewards, the wait staff, the public, general public don't have a fucking clue about what's going on out there. They still say, I want it here and I want it now. They're never going to know. They're never going to be educated. Ignorance is bliss. So the only thing we can do in a time like this is start to look inwards to ourselves, intrinsically in our business, look at our operations, look at our training, look at what we are doing to put ourselves in the best position to succeed without the need for as many staff. Do we have the systems in place in the venue to be able to survive with one less chef? If your venue needs 3 more chefs or 2 chefs and 2 kitchen hands and you can't find them, and it doesn't matter what you do, how much time you're investing on Facebook and Seek and in WA Chefs and all these other places, trying to, just throw money at the problem to get people to come through the door and they're just not turning up. It's time to start looking at all of the other things that you can possibly do to make your life easier. So from an owner's perspective, when was the last time you looked at your menu? Doesn't need to be as big as it is. From a chef's perspective, do your dishes need to have as many steps in them as what you do? Is there a way that you can go about reducing some of those touch points in your food preparation process? When it comes down to the cleaning schedules, is there a company out there that can come in and do the cleaning for you that's going to reduce the amount of hours that the chefs need to work of a night time in order to clean? maintenance. Is your kitchen being maintained? Is the equipment up to scratch? Is your deep fryer, as an example, is your deep fryer new enough, maintained? Does the thermostat work so that it actually maintains heat? Do you have the right cleaning equipment? Do you have PPE? Has everybody done their COVID infection control training, and not the AHA thing that's, anyway, I won't say what I think of that one. But is there training being implemented in your business that is making the life and is purely 100% designed at making life easier, streamlining those processes to make life easier for everybody in the business? It's not about cutting corners. Long gone should be the days of I don't want to do this way because that's cutting corners and I'm a chef and blah blah blah. It's time to start thinking realistically. It's time to start leaving the ego at the door and looking straight down the line of what it is that you can do to make your life easier. Work-life balance, there's no such thing. There's work and then there's your life. The only thing is, if you are identifying yourself as your job, and I suffered with this for a very, very long time myself. I identified myself as Chef Dan in Melbourne. All my mates knew, hey, Chef Dan's coming around after work. Chef Dan's going to be here. Chef Dan's that. It took me a very long time to shake that. I am Dan Whitehead. That's who I am. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a mate, I'm a coach, I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a business consultant, I'm whatever the heck I want to be, a trainer and assessor, 40 hours a week, but I don't identify myself as all of those things and those things only. You work as a chef. You don't go to work to chef, you go to work to cook. At the end of the day, we're all cooks. If you're the business owner, you go to work to operate and run a business from a place of leadership and inspiration. Much the same as you would inspire and hopefully lead and embrace your family and your kids, that is the same sort of attitude that you should be taking into your workplace. And if you don't have kids, well, looking at your workplace should be a pretty good reflection about how you would potentially look after your kids. We don't berate our kids, we don't sack our kids, we don't give our kids dodgy equipment to work with, we don't underpay them, overwork them and not care for their welfare. So if you think about it from those perspectives for a second, you'll start to see where I start to think and why I've been so bloody successful over the years in running venues that have, let's say, almost been down the shitter before I came along. I'm willing to help anybody out. I'm willing to put my experience, as I say, I've got nearly 30 years experience in this stuff. I started running kitchens when I was 21 years old. Very badly, might I add. I've learned my mistakes. I am well and truly aware of what it is that the first time, second, third time head chef is going through. I'm acutely aware of what mistakes you're making in your business, probably by just looking at your menu online. What I do with Hospitality Solutions is help people make their life easier. I've been doing it for a really long time. It's something that I'm extremely bloody good at. One thing I just wanted to get out there with this is, what is something that you can do today that's going to make tomorrow easier for yourself? It doesn't matter what level of the business you are in, whether you are the kitchen hand, whether you are the owner. What can you do today to make your life and the life of those around you easier tomorrow? Start thinking about the value that your venue can offer in terms of staffing and employment, and start thinking a little bit bigger at the end of the day. I'd love to start seeing some more conversations about ways that we can help each other out and ways that we can help to improve the life of people in the industry and let's get some more people into it as well. Let's try and help businesses out. Let's be part of that fabric of change that we all need to see. Let's stop focusing on COVID and the lack of staff and the lack of this and the lack of that. Let's stop bitching and moaning amongst ourselves in public forums that only go to show the whole world of potential employees who they don't want to work for. Let's start being a community and a network of people in the hospitality industry who have only got one thing in common, and that is to drive some freaking change to make the life of everybody in the industry better, to improve the culture within the industry, and to start attracting more people into the industry so that we can all start to really love what we do and see some amazing changes happen around us. That's what I've got for today. It's a little bit longer as usual than the couple of minutes I sort of set it out to be. If you've watched this all the way through for the 11 and a half minutes, thank you very much. I appreciate you for doing so. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Tell me what it is that you're planning on doing. One thing, just put one thing in the comments. Today I'm going to do this, and this is how it's going to make my life better tomorrow. I'd love to see at least, let's say, 5 comments, 10 comments after this one. Share it with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you again.